Hi, and welcome to Wellington Dukes TV. I'm Jason Parks of the Picton Gazette. Well, if there's one thing that cost the Wellington Dukes hockey games last season, it was their dreadful power play. The Dukes were at the bottom of the OJHL barrel last season when it came to power play proficiency, and the mediocre man advantage system Wellington employed likely played a role in the club's fourth place finish in the Eastern Division. But it's a new season. The power play is clicking so far for the hockey club, and superb special teams play can be pointed to when looking at a pair of Duke victories this past weekend. We pick up the action in Wellington Friday night where, after 3 weeks of OJHL regular season play, the Dukes faithful finally have a chance to see the hometown club in action. The visiting Georgetown Raiders would open the scoring at 8:02 of the first when Brandon Jacome drops to Michael Cavarcier and he snaps it past Wellington's Lucas Michalski for a 1-0 lead. Later in the period on the power play, Mike Soucier takes an Andrew Copeland feed and zings it past Michael Stelitis to knot the score at 1-1. About 4 minutes later, Soucier feeds Copeland, and the defenseman pounds it through traffic to put the Dukes up 2-1. Wellington would get the only goal in the second as Stephen Deeg spots Eric De Laurentiis behind the net, and the centerman tucks it home to make it 3-1 for the Dukes. Despite carrying much of the play, this one was in doubt until the final minute when Deeg deposits the puck into the yawning Georgetown cage to make it a 4-1 final. A few verbal altercations at the end of the contest, but after 60 minutes, the Dukes were the victors, picking up their first home victory of the new season. On Sunday, Wellington paid their first visit to Whitby of the season. On the power play early in the first, De Laurentiis will jam home the game's first goal thanks to help from Jacob Panetta, and it's a 1-0 Dukes lead early on. 2 minutes later, Luke Brown springs Trevor Cope, and the Michigan native fires one past Tyler Fever to double the Wellington lead. The spread got to 3 goals later in the opening frame when the Dukes again capitalized on the power play, this time Copeland overmatching Fever on the short side to make it 3-0 Wellington. Fast forward to the opening minute of the second with the score 3-1. Tyler Best bursts in on Michalski and buries it to make it 3-2. Whitby on the power play later in the second, and Jeff Murray has time and space in the slot, and his shot ties it up at 3-3. Scary moment here in the second with Wellington on the power play as Cope gets hammered at the Whitby blue line by Pat McAuliffe. Cope appeared to be no worse for the wear as he gets checked over by Dukes trainer Brian Kuipers at the Wellington bench. The Dukes pick up a 5-on-3 advantage on the play, and in no time at all, Spencer Turcotte restores the Wellington lead. Whitby would again climb back into it with an Adam Clements goal about 4.5 minutes to go in the second. The game remained tied through the third period and overtime, meaning a shootout would decide the contest. Luke Brown bests Fever in round 1, while Michalski gets the pad out on Best to deny Whitby. Cope, back from that vicious hit, goes low on Fever in round 2 to light the lamp. At the other end, Michalski blanks Nick Neal, sealing the win for Wellington. Michalski stopped 35 shots and both shootout attempts, picking up his third win of the season. Wellington improved their record to 3-2-0. In total, Wellington went 5 for 13 on the power play this weekend and stands 6th overall in the OJHL with a power play percentage of 22.5%. Wellington takes that power play into Hamilton Thursday night to take on the Red Wings, while the club is back home Friday at the S-Rock Arena to host the Stouffville Spirit. Join us again next week for all your Wellington Dukes highlights and visit us both at the Wellington Dukes homepage and youtube.com/Wellington Dukes TV. For Wellington Dukes TV, I'm Jason Parks.